Lynn Carius, when can we pre-order Tasha's? I really want to give you my money. We don't have any details on that yet. So as soon as we are able, per Wizards of the Coast, to provide that for pre-order, we will do it. So we will let everyone know as soon as digital distributors are able to pre-order, put Tasha's up for pre-order, make that available. Saber Runner, what are the current plans for publishing AL content on DDB? Won't talk about necessarily publishing AL content on DDB because, again, we are putting whatever Wizards of the Coast wants us to put on the platform. That's what we're putting on the platform. And so that has included some AL content in the past. We have been given the go-ahead to do some of the seasonal content very, very recently on AL. So we hope that we can get to that in a near-term season, but we haven't been able to work that into the schedule yet because we've just gotten that clear and that go-ahead to do that with AL. So hopefully soon you'll start to see some of that AL content there. And we are very importantly wanting, and again, this isn't on the just like next list, but it's something that is hovering out there right after that. Now that AL has kind of settled and the smoke is starting to clear on some of the rules changes and everything else that they've done, we would love to do some AL validation on characters so dungeon masters can feel confident that a player is following all of those guidelines. So we'll definitely keep everyone posted on how that goes. Leopard 7200, can we get a checkbox or drop down or something to show which season an Eladrin is in on the character sheet? Yes, I think that is a great idea. That is an example of one of those special rule cases that we certainly could add over time. It's not on our short-term list. Let's see. Oh, okay. I have no idea what's going on with Stream Heroes, but I see in chat we may be having some problems. So it's alpha, folks, and we're doing it live. We're gonna figure this thing out. So appreciate everyone's patience there. So essentially, with the Eladrin drop down, I think that right now our intent would be you could cover that with notes, but I do completely agree that it would be great for some of these really, really special cases for us to have that capability to add that to your character. And so we are looking for ways through a general feature system to try to integrate more of that over time. What, sirs, could we get themed dice sets for past adventures, like the two we got for Icewind Dale? A Curse of Strahd dice set sounds terrifyingly amazing to me, especially if they disappear in a puff of smoke or in the shape of bats. I like the shape of bats one. That's really, really great. Yeah, I think those are all things that could happen over time. So we'll keep you posted. Let's see. Got table. Yeah, got table. Is there a place to see if the chat is canceled for the week? Would that be chat is canceled for the week? So I'm assuming that you're meaning the dev update is canceled for the week, and we don't have a place that I think you can see that is posted regularly, but I do know that as soon as we have notice for that is posted a day in advance. So as long as we know that one of the dev updates is going to be canceled more than a day in advance, we do post that through social media that it's going to be canceled. And so yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. And if there's a better way to do that, we're certainly open to suggestions. Sass of the Sea, is there any possibility that D&D Beyond will have unofficial D&D campaign material in the future, such as Critical Role's Tal'Dorei campaign book? At this point in time, we cannot do third-party content per our licensing agreement. It is something that I have actively been crusading for more than 3 years at this point in time. It would not surprise me if we were able to do it at some point in the future, but at this we are not able to provide any third-party type content on D&D Beyond. Big-hearted guy, what are your favorite types of non-combat encounters? That's a really wide open question. It's a good one. Um, I definitely favor social encounters over exploration encounters for sure. I think a lot of exploration is difficult because of lack of guidelines and a lack of published support for how exploration happens. I've seen some good stuff out there that where people are trying to solve that problem, but social encounters are going to be my favorite, even over combat encounters. So social encounters are what I'm going to go with here. I think that social encounters are really really iffy though, and you know it takes knowing your players very well. It takes knowing, if you are a player, knowing your DM very well and understanding what play styles are and what preferences are and everything else. And so I think that it's tough to get into like the specific, but I definitely prefer social encounters in most of the games, and I would actually prefer to play through in combat encounters. All right, thanks for your patience. It's hard to test this stuff live because we can't test it with all these people watching the stream. So thank you for showing us what we need to know to make some adjustments here. All right, let's see. Let's see. Lord Garthon, did we kill the stream with all of our summonings? Possibly, possibly, but I can't know for sure. Because first of all, I wouldn't have a clue about that from a technical perspective, but also because I can't see what's going on with the Stream Heroes thing. So I will get a full retro report on what happened here. But yeah, we will figure this out for sure and get this going on. Saber Runner, how are you with getting Discord partner status? So I think that Discord has like rejected our partner status request. I think Discord maybe refactored how they're handling partners or something like that. So I think we have whatever the status is that lets you put up a pretty picture on your server. So whatever that would be, but yeah, I don't know about exactly what's going on with partner status. We've certainly applied, and they have not kind of responded in a positive way to that yet. But we'll see how that goes. Aerogroth, should we now expect class variant features to be released with Tasha's instead of independently, since it's no longer going to be a UA feature? Yes, that is something that I shared a couple of weeks ago, I believe, is that we had to make the decision at this point because we're getting into a mode where when Wizards of the Coast, when we got eyes on the actual implementation of this, we got to a point where we could either implement this into in its UA format and get that out, a little bit earlier, or but if we did that, we would be late on getting the changes updated for Tasha's. So we made the decision, which I think is the right decision, to get this out alongside Tasha's release. And so, yeah, it is going to be coming with Tasha's, and it will not exist in a UA format anywhere. And that's just based on changing development. And again, I'm not spoiling, how much the changes were or anything else like that. I'm talking much more from a back end perspective, that we could either put it out in the playtest form or the real and official form. And we thought the timing was better, and fans would be happier by us doing the approach that we're taking, which is grouping it with Tasha's release. Joe Slusher, when Vycroft is defeated, will there be a new legendary boss? I have no idea what is even going on with Stream Heroes right now. So we're just gonna have to see what happens when we're gonna have to see what happens when Vycroft is defeated. So let's see what happens. Is Vycroft? So I can see chat right now. but my thing that would allow me to see the stream hero thing is gone. I can't see that at all. Like, is he almost there? Maybe almost there. Can anybody? Oh, only got like 5 HP. That's great. So, all right, it might happen, folks. It might happen. So, good luck. Let's see what happens. So yeah, good luck. All the misses. How many of you just went straight for that wizard because of all that sweet damage? And then the wizard just has a +1 attack bonus, and you just keep missing over and over and over. Oh, I love it. All right. So I think Vycroft might be on its last leg. So let's see how that goes. All right. 323 Starlight. Will we ever see a homebrew option for full-on classes, not just subclasses, but actual classes? I do believe that's something that will happen, and it's something that we have on our list, and something that we certainly want to see at some point. All right. That's probably going to be grouped with some larger homebrew changes that we intend to do at some point in the future. Lord Garthon, did you just make a 2020 hindsight pun in 2020 lol? Lol is laugh out loud, if you didn't know that. Yeah, I guess I did. 2020 hindsight is 2020. Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that one. Freya Maluk, when are you planning to include UA subclasses to the homebrew creator to be pulled in as a base? I like the way you framed the question, because it's like you're trying to subtly say that it's going to happen or whatever. So, but yeah, we're not exactly clear on whether we're going to do that yet. But it is something that we're seeing some feedback out there, and we are going to consider that. So, it looks like the boss is defeated. It looks like that has happened. So, congratulations, everyone. Good luck on winning that legendary bundle. Apparently, something happened when the boss was defeated, though. So, yeah, it looks like that necromancer is a dastardly villain. So yeah, we'll have to tune in future weeks to see what happens with that necromancer. But good luck on the legendary bundle. But yeah, we will keep an eye on UA subclasses in the builder. Some of the problems that we could see there is just, again, confusion. So we've got to be careful about how we work with playtest content, and that is how we're working with Wizards of the Coast on that. So we'll see what happens in the future. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Saber Runner. Rich text in the character sheet text field. Something that I definitely want. Something that I want in the encounter builder as well. We've run into a couple of headaches with that even in the last couple of weeks. So we would love to do that. It's a little harder than it seems like it might be. From a technical perspective, it's not hard to make that happen, but from scaling across millions and millions of characters and people using those characters, we want to make sure that everything is scalable in the right way. So I think that that's a really, really big important thing, but it is something that's on our list. We would love to see that happen. Creator _ custom dice. I think it'd be cool to design my own dice for my players to use color-wise for my campaign. I agree with that, and that would be really, really cool. So we'll see what we can do there. Cistern, aka Rindalathar. Does older content cleanup, in quotes, also include the ability to add spell scrolls to an inventory without home brewing? No, that's not what that particular thing means. But the second part of the question there is doing something with, both inventory management, but then also being able to attach spells to items, those kind of things. Those are things that we are looking at and are on that, kind of rules exception list that we're going to be tackling hopefully as we get into the rest of this year, into Q1 of next year. I don't know if it will make the cut. That particular one will make the cut for this next pass, but it is something that we are looking at, and I know is on that list. Vaxum, no question. Oh man, you just broke the rules. This is supposed to be Q&A time. Just need to compliment the new Stream Look and Stream Heroes features. Yeah, we thought that would be pretty fun. And I can't wait for you all to see, you know, special bosses that I have pixel arted myself. So yeah, it should be fun. There's something about pixel art, and I am definitely showing my age with this, but I could not afford a Nintendo Entertainment System. That's an NES or a NES for the cool kids out there. But I got one when I was about 12 years old. First game I ever played was Super Mario Brothers, of course, followed very closely by Duck Hunt with that ridiculous orange and gray blaster. But yeah, so there's a special place in my heart for all of that. So yeah, this again, this is just a fun thing. This has been a way for Thomas and I to have some fun, blowing off some steam in a year where blowing off steam is pretty important. My other project, at the word project, I am a robot. Yeah. Get off those games in there. What is wrong with you? No, my kids are not on games right now. Naturally, I would have told them not to do that if we were having these kind of internet problems. So I have the Google Fiber, folks. So I don't know. I can't have better internet. So I don't know what's going on here. So apologies for the issues. But hey, this is 2020. So that's just kind of how things are going right now, right? All right. So let's see. Where were we? Bad Juju DM. Can you repeat everything you said? Lag is horrible. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this week's Dev Update and Community Q&A session. I am Adam with... Oh, you probably didn't mean for me to go that far back, did you? Yeah, so anyway... I don't know where you missed me there, but basically we will start in with the next question, and hopefully you're going to hear it. Rikio 407, is there going to be a way to share maps with players in a campaign? That is absolutely on our list, and it is something that we really intend to do and are looking forward to. So that would be through some type of shared game space, we imagine, and it is probably going to take a virtual format at some point. So that's something that is on our list, and it is a target that we are actively marching towards. Silver Wolf NL, what happened to plan to have all encounters in books clickable to load them as encounters? That is also something that we are trying to, as we get out of beta for the encounter builder, that is a big part of getting out of beta. So there's a little bit more development that we need to do to make that possible, but it is something that is on the short-term list. Right now, you have the ability to copy an encounter to your account, and this is going to use similar functionality, but it needs a little bit more done to it. So as soon as the teams have bandwidth, I'm hoping post Tasha's here, we're going to be able to get on that, because that is very convenient and something that we want to do. Let's see. Saber Runner, can we get to buy the pre-order bonuses after the book is published? Some people only get their money at very specific times and can miss the option to pre-order. So part of what we're doing there is, so first of all, we try to give as long of a pre-order period as we can. And we are starting to review some other ways to make those available. So it would not surprise me. We don't have the details that I can share yet for that, but it would not surprise me if we were able to do that at some point. Tiamat ZX, is there a race class combination you have yet to play as? Many, I would imagine, because I think there are just tons and tons of them. I'll take the class part of that. first, and let me think if there is a class that I have never played. Um, I've played that. I guess at this point in time, in something, at least a one shot, I've played every single class. So yeah, I've played every single class. There are many races that I've not played, and so yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start with that part of it. But many of them that I have not played as. But I'm always looking for what the next character is going to be. So eventually, I might get to them all. RR George, we're getting closer to holiday shopping. Can we get an update on the possibility of any kind of gift purchasing? No update yet, but I hope to have more to share soon. So we'll see how it goes. It's certainly something we would love to do and something that we're trying to make happen. Big hearted guy. Is there a way to make the campaign filter and my encounters persistent? There is not at this point in time, as far as I'm aware, but it is something that's on our list and something we want to do. Miss Sayato, any plans for public character sheets to also allow people to see your character descriptions and notes? So that's a good one. We got into a little bit of issues as soon as we released the ability to share your character over some people at the very start, like the first couple of days of this, people were able to see everything, and folks got a little upset that there were secrets in their descriptions and notes that they didn't want others to see. And so the short-term fix for that is we restricted those sections. In the future, we want to add different levels of permission that would allow descriptions and notes to still display. And so I think that will happen, but it is not a priority for us to work on that at this point. Let's see. Jorte 90, can you share any ideas or upcoming plans for DM centric features that may be rolling out? DM centric. So, this gets into a little bit of our philosophy for D&D Beyond and how we approach things. The DM is another player at the table. They're part of that group that is playing this game, and in that sense, they are a player. And so, we want to provide as much convenience as we possibly can for dungeon masters. But we also want to impact that play experience between sessions and during the session very holistically. And so we do have features that are coming, shared dice rolling and some other things that absolutely will impact DMs. But it is something that is going to be pretty player centric as well. As far as the DM specifically goes, probably world building, those kind of things, we are looking at ideas now and concepts for what we will start to take a serious look at as we get into next year. So nothing more to share there, but yeah, there's a lot of activity going on, lots of targets that we have, and a good bit of that will be probably what you would consider DM centric. New Nuck 3, maybe. You put the Magic the Gathering Plane Shift PDFs up at some point. It's probably a will you, and we would do that if Wizards of the Coast provided those to us to do. At this point in time, we have asked about that, and it's not something that they're interested in. I do not know this for sure, but I am certainly, going to hypothesize that they might not want to do that because they are making a lot of products that become official hardcovers based on Magic the Gathering properties. And so again, this is my opinion and just a guess on my part. It could make sense that they wouldn't want something that is old design to show up when who knows what plans they have for other Magic properties in the future. See, several duplicates there. Uh, 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 uh. Paul W41, any thoughts on creating a switch to limit content for a character to build by Adventure League season? Yeah, that is, we call that AL validation. It's been on the roadmap for a while, something we haven't been able to prioritize because of our team's bandwidth yet, but it is something that is kind of hovering out there, not on the short-term horizon, but right outside that. It's something we would love to do, and something we are taking a look at. Zer, legendary bundle for Stream Heroes Nat 20. Wow, like talk about looking a gift horror. No, yeah, no plans for that right now, but we'll continue to look for ways that we can have more fun with what's going on with the game for sure. I have no idea how the game's even going, so I hope it didn't just completely explode. It might have, I don't know. Coffee burrito. Do you have any backstory or lore for Vycroft? That would be really something to see. So maybe you all can write some for him out there. We may have some of these bosses have some of that in the future. So we'll see how that goes. Dark Abyss Keeper, favorite multi-class you'd like to try that isn't well supported by the mechanics. Multi-class you'd like to try that isn't well supported by the mechanics. I am not really sure. Well, I guess one thing that I could say, so I had a character pretty early in my Dungeons and Dragons career that was his name was Ryder Thorn, and basically that character was more or less like a vigilante in the D&D setting. And because I used to do this in Morrowind too, by the way, I would use that glass armor, and I basically would just, stroll around Vivek acting like I was Batman. But yeah, so this Ryder Thorn was pretty much that, but he was um, a dual wielder with sickles at the time, and the sickles, so very Daredevil inspired. The sickles would separate and kind of essentially become Kasarigama, and try to. He would use that for grappling hooks, and he had a button in the handle that the sickle would come back into it via chains. That kind of stuff. And I tried to do that in fifth edition with something at some point, and using Swashbuckler was probably the closest. And one of the things that that I'm not incredibly happy about with Swashbuckler is it's actually difficult to use like some kind of larger weapon in one hand versus rapier and dagger is fine, but using some of this other stuff is not very well supported. So I would say some of the two weapon fighting mechanics are not exactly how I would like them to be for some of the character concepts that I've tried to do. So maybe that's how I'd answer that question. I'm sorry if I'm not quite getting at the heart of it there, but that's probably the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Kale the Adventurer, I'm curious about the kinds of things that were done in the cleaning up older content. Can you elaborate and or give some examples? So that is something that is in progress right now, so you're not seeing that yet. So we're starting with Curse of Strahd because that's the most popular adventure on D&D Beyond. And so we are starting with that one, and as soon as we have that getting live out there for everyone, I will be happy to go through and talk about the things that were updated at that point in time. Tie-in FH. When is the option to roll your stats coming? Very, very soon. It's very close. We've just had to make sure that we've got all hands on deck for some of these massive changes in Tasha's. But that one is very, very close, and hopefully we'll have more to share on that soon. gbob_co. Is there any thought to adding a character blog for campaigns? Uh, that's something we have talked about, perhaps recently. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Malik Redgrave. Is there a way to prompt players to change hit points on level up when hit points are set to manual? There's a lot of confusion in my campaigns when it comes to leveling up and how to handle hit points. Yeah, we've seen this before. I've run into this myself. It is something that we would love to do a better job of shepherding the level up process. We have ideas for this. We just haven't been able to get around to it. But yes, it is on the radar and something we would love to dive into at some point. Due West 83, are there plans to incorporate the piety system from Theros in the future? Yes, there are in the future. Not sure when that will be, but it is planned and something we want to do. Sounds like Tyler. I think we all love seeing stats like most popular classes and feats, etc. Can we see the most popular archived UA subclasses? I think that is a possibility and something we could take a look at some point. Saber Runner, homebrew languages would be very nice to have for Eberron. You can do custom languages now, but I understand that it would be more ideal to probably have that incorporated at the more base level when it comes to the character creation itself. So it is something again that is on the list. We just haven't been able to get to that specific use case yet. 323 Starlight. My last question for now. Sounds ominous. Will D&D Beyond get a world building feature similar to World Anvil or Campfire? I actually just discovered Campfire fairly recently. Um, yeah, we're talking about something like it. No more details yet, but it is something that we are circling and trying to figure out. Y'all Norw. I have no clue on that one. Sorry. Any thought/idea towards being able to create folders for characters? Character selection screen to sort characters you create. For example, my 20 Hexblade builds into a folder. You have a Hexblade problem, my friend. Yes, folders for that. We definitely want to do it. I know that there are some browser extensions out there in the community that have done this, and we see that, and we see that there is interest. So this is also on our list. Metalis would love to see a better way to include NPCs in the encounter builder and phased encounters where you can have reinforcements queued to add. So that's not a question. So you broke the rules, but that's okay because it is a very valid suggestion and something that we have that we certainly have on our list. Awesome ball bags. Are there any plans for tie-in/support with virtual tabletops, example Roll20, or plans to develop a VTT within D&D Beyond? So yeah, we have shared with the community that we are marching down a path that will get a virtual game space within D&D Beyond as a platform. So that is something that we are actively working towards. There are ways that you can play with D&D Beyond content Roll20 right now via some great community Chrome extensions. Beyond 20 is one that I'm very aware of. Has done a great job there. So yeah, you can come and use and unlock all your content on D&D Beyond and use that in Roll20 if you want to go there. It also supports Foundry VTT. So there are ways that you can do that in the here and now. But yes, we are working towards a next gen virtual game space as well. Let's see. Note Note LLM. Can encounters have the HTML title be the name of the encounter? I sometimes have multiple tabs open of encounters and it's impossible to tell them apart. I think that's very fair, and we will see what we can do with that. So This is, you know, how like when you're filming something, a lot of times they, you know, have you clap to, to do the audio checks and to cue things. It's like I'm clapping right now for our content support teams to hopefully pick up on that one, because I think that's a fair request, and we'll see what we can do there. Let's see. Okay, that's duplicate. Devere P, have you seen the game Celesta, Crown of the Magister? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Definitely seen it. Talked to the folks that are making that game, and very intriguing what they're doing. And my thoughts on it are, I wish them all the luck. I would love to see something like that succeed. So, you know, hopefully they can make it happen. And it looks very intriguing. Mickey Math, how excited are you to create more characters with Tasha's? Well, I mean, I'm already creating characters with Tasha, so it's a little unfair to say that. But yes, I am excited to create other Tasha's thing. Oh, I'm seeing chat go crazy. Did something happen? I believe something might have happened. Maybe another reanimated version of a boss maybe happened. So yeah, congratulations to whoever is going to win that one. So I think you all did it with like 5 minutes to spare. Like that's really something. You know, we might have had some snafus with parts of this, but you know, the timing and the math behind it seems like it worked just fine. So that'll go in that retro report too. All right, let's see. But yeah, I'm going to create several characters with Tasha's content, because I really love to see what is going on there. Let's see. Lord Garthon, is the stream heroes running from your computer? Definitely not. If so, you might be getting CPU or GPU bottleneck messing. Yeah, no, none of this is running from my computer. The truth is, I would not even know how to do any of that stuff in the first place. So no, it's running with our production team. I think a lot of this would be handled and very, very easy if we were all in an office studio, because you know, having that internal network with its gigantic pipe and everything else, everything used to be great, but we're having to adjust to some remote production here, and so that's where we're going to run into a few of these problems. Let's see, time for a few more. Saber Runner, auto distribute XP and or loot from the encounter builder / combat tracker. Something that we would like to do, but no details yet on that. Grumpy Dungeon Masters. Wait, there's like more than one of you? I mean, that's plural right there. And why so grumpy? Like, just, I hope you can smile today and be a little less grumpy. Are you adding in condition flags to the combat tracker? Definitely on the list, something that we'd like to do. We would love to get into that as we start getting into more of a temporary effects system. So that's something that I think we're going to start seeing, since we have the concept of duration now and all of that. It's something that we can start moving into. Creator _, how many campaigns are you in now? Ah, that's interesting. 3 or 4 probably right now. 2 or 3 if you're counting Dungeons and Dragons. I guess 4 or 5 if you're counting any kind of tabletop RPG. But yeah, it's yeah, it's something I enjoy quite a bit. So yeah, lots and lots of campaigns going on right now. Now those play with varying degrees of consistency, because that's what happens when people get older and have responsibilities and have difficulty finding the time for the things that they love. But yeah, that's it. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got Icebox 241. After the release of Tasha's, will there be a way to level up your sidekicks in DDB via the Extras tab without having to use the customize feature? Not, we won't have that right out of the gate. And I want to be clear about that. Like, part of that reason is we just have not seen the completed sidekicks content yet. And so we are very unlikely to have time to implement that ahead of when Tasha's would be available. And so as soon as we get eyes on that, I can have a better answer there. All right, let's see. So I'll make sure that I didn't. Lord Garthon, dark mode. Adventure fight. Would you miss the dark mode jokes if they were gone? Man. Storm Knight UK, can Stream Heroes have a dark mode? All right, that's it. That's it. I'm out of here. I'm completely out of here. I hope everybody has a great week. We will see you next time. Later, Gators.